Watch out, Breville. You've been put on notice because this little baby blue guy next to me is packed full with the same features that the Breville Oracle dual boiler is, plus there's a bunch more. This is Maxim's Seine X, and this is my hands-on review. Let's check it out. G'day mate, my name's Ryan, your coffee coach. Today I want to take you through everything that I've experienced, everything I love about this machine, some of the things that I'm not really a fan of. But if you're looking for a coffee machine and you're not really au fait with how the home barista world is and how much technical stuff there is to learn, this machine is going to be perfect for you. Or even if you're a professional barista and you really want to dive deep into all the intricacies to extract those beautiful oils and sugars from your coffee, this is also probably the machine for you. It'll be launching shortly. The link's below, you can check that out. This is Maxim's Seine X, and Maxim's, for those of you who don't know, is Maxim's de Paris. It's a restaurant that's been around since 1813, which has been touted as one of the most exclusive, prestigious clubs in all of France, probably the whole world, where the likes of Josephine Baker, Barbara Streisand, Audrey Hepburn, and Jean Cocteau, all of who's who's of A-listers from France and around the world have been to this place. It's the place where they serve caviar, velvet drapes, gold ornate things everywhere. It really is a super high class establishment. And they've recently launched into coffee machines and other home appliances. And this is their latest, not even released yet, coffee machine called Seine X, which is named after the river, obviously, La Seine, which I'm probably butchering the names because I've got an Aussie accent and I don't really have a beautiful French accent. But it's something like Maxime de Paris, La Seine, or something. And really is packed full of features. Whether you're a newbie or a professional, you're gonna love this machine. It's got everything in it. I want to go into a deep dive of everything that I've experienced. Thank you so much to Maxim's for giving me this machine. Also, if you like these sort of videos, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It must be noted that this is a pre-production model, so there's not necessarily going to be everything on here, or there might be tweaks and changes to it before they get to production. First off, it's just a dual thermoblock, so which means it can't do coffee and steam your milk at the same time, but the wait time between switching between the two is instant. So you can run your shot, as soon as it's finished, tap that, and then you can start steaming your milk. And that's fantastic for a lot of people who are in a rush and they don't have a lot of time to wait for the boiler to heat up or cool down, like in a single boiler machine. For those of you who want to be able to pump out multiple coffees at the same time, this machine won't let you do that in this current production. The other thing that it has is a built-in grinder. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of built-in grinders. I just think for redundancy, you want to have them separate. If the machine breaks down and it's just a massive grinder. I understand that for convenience and space size that a lot of people do love these all-in-one machines, and that's obviously what Maxim's have targeted. With their research, they realized that they want to get people who just want all-in-one and don't have to worry about buying two different machines. However, with this particular machine, the grinder that they've built is fantastic for newbies because it has something that's called a grind by weight. And if you don't know what that means, it means that you pop your portafilter in there and you set the dose out as exactly whatever it is you want, 15.5 or 16 grams, 18 grams, whatever it is. It will grind that amount, and when the weight hits 18 grams, it will stop. If you're new to coffees, you want to start thinking about coffee as like a recipe. So you have 18 grams in, and then you want to extract out a double amount, so 36 grams out. And because it has both the grind by weight feature and the extract by weight feature here, this is actually a little scale, it can do both. You can exactly prepare your extraction to get the best result. And even if you don't really know what you're doing, then you can try it, taste it, and go, well, do I need to make any adjustments? I really love the design. Obviously, this is the baby blue color. It comes in also a white and a black version. Unfortunately, in the pre-production, I've only got access to the blue, but I just love the blue. And so many people have commented on how lovely this machine looks. Designed after one of those French classic cars, the 1950s Simca 9, which is a French vehicle. And this has been in research and development for about 4.5 years. So they've done a lot of research and everyone has commented on how lovely this design is. You've of course got your two actuators here. This particular actuator is for the grinder. So by pushing it back, you grind automatically, and it's got a little A there for automatic. And by pulling it forward, you can just dose on demand. So you could just, if you want to do it and top it up a little bit, then you can do that. And here on the side is the grind adjuster as well. So on the front, you actually have multiple ways to grind. You can grind by seconds if that's what you want. However, that's an older way of doing grinding now. I guess if you're grinding a big lot, you might want to do that, but really you want to start thinking about it as recipes. So you put in your 15 grams grind there, and you can adjust that as well. So you go into the settings and you pop it up. I'm going to put it up to 18 grams. Although it seems stepless, it's got a digit to represent the number, but it goes from 0 right up to 70. So you've got plenty of room to grind for your espressos, right up to, as coarse as I need to use it, you can go right up, I think, to plunger grind, but not that you're going to use this for plunger. However, one of the beautiful features of this machine, amongst others, and I'll get into all the features shortly, is that this can do a filter coffee, a drip coffee straight out of the machine itself. And I'll go into that, and we'll actually make one shortly. Obviously, the machine's been manufactured in China, but it's been designed, and R&D's all been done in Paris. Oh, it's telling me that the bean hopper's not in place. I just had to adjust that. These things here actually to open the hopper up, and I've got to pop some beans in, which I'll do right now, using some lovely Il Caramello. Of course, if you want to, you can jump on Coffee Beans Delivered and buy some Il Caramello. It's a just gorgeous Il Caramelly flavored coffee, natural characteristics. So we open that up, and now it's grinding out. So it tells you the grind weight, and it also tells you how long it does. So it's actually pretty quick, about 11.8 seconds to get me 18.4 grams. And so I was aiming for 18.5, but that's certainly very, very good. And you can actually see how lovely this grind is. It's really nice and fluffy, not much clumping at all. You obviously can do a bit of distribution to it. And one of the beautiful things that it comes with is a distribution tool, and it looks kind of like a cigar. I feel like one of those old gangsters maybe, but it actually is a distribution tool. And if I want to, now I can just run it in a standard mode. The beauty of this is it has 3 different types of modes. So you have your standard mode, which just gives you a single shot or your double shot, and you can set those. They're volumetric. You can set them however you like. You could have a constant mode, which is just going to give you a flat bar, and you can set that pressure as well. So if you want to do a full 9-bar pressure, which is the old Italian style one, which is still used in 99% of cafes around the world today, or you can lower it down to do a 6-bar or a 3-bar coffee as well. So if you want to play around with it, you can. And then you have the variable mode. Now, in the variable mode, you have control over absolutely everything, from the pressure to the ramp, the speed, the temperature of the water. It is so technical. If you really want to dive deep, it has a couple of presets there. You can make it step up. You can have it go start as low as 3-bar, go up to a 6-bar, go up to a 9-bar, come back down again, go up again. It's not quite as advanced as some of the other high-end models, but I don't know, this is not necessarily aiming for that. This is just trying to give home baristas as much control or as little control as you'd prefer. So we're going to start on one of my system curves, which is just a 9-bar dropping down to a 6-bar over time. And then you just press start, and we can see that extraction there. Looking beautiful. And obviously we've set our weight. I've got the temperature set to 95 degrees, and I've set the output to be 38 grams. So I've 18 grams in, and I want to do a 38 gram out. And that produced that in about 23 seconds. So it was a little bit fast all off. Probably wanted to go a little bit longer because there was also a pre-infusion there of 4 seconds. So maybe I want to push it a little bit further than that. But then you can see on your graph, you can see absolutely everything. And then you can make adjustments from there. You can also then save that extraction data. You can edit it, you can upload it, you can change any of the parameters. You can write in what brand it is, when the roasting date was. You can measure the TDS, pop that into there, and then it can even show you a little spider graph. On the spider graph, you can adjust everything from the acidity to the flavor to the mouthfeel to the body to the sweetness to the bitterness, clarity, aftertaste, and then you can jot in notes as well. So absolutely everything in there, all your data in there for your next coffee to make it even better than your first one. Now that we've made our coffee, I'm going to show you this steam wand here. Now the steam wand design is very interesting, very fixed here, so it's got full rotation. You can go around to the side, you can push it here. You can't go very high, but you can actually access it really nicely, which is so good because there's no big level here that's blocking your way and means you get full rotation. This little black thing here that you might see, what it actually is an infrared sensor that shoots down into the milk, and so you can set your milk to be whatever temperature you like. Let's say your partner loves it burning hot and wants it at like 72 degrees, you know, burning and boiled. And you prefer it to be able to just smash it down, so you want to go like a 62 degrees one. Well, you can set that temperature, then use this, and the infrared marker, as you'll see, will cut off exactly at that point, which is spot on as well. So I'm going to show you. All I need to do is go into there, set my steam, and then I tap here, and starts to steam. One thing I do think with the steam wand, this is on level 2, and there is a super steam which goes up to level 6. It's not a very powerful steam wand. I think the thermoblock might need to be adjusted. There's one thing, if they could improve the speed of it. For newbies, this is going to be beautiful because it's nice and soft, it's dry steam, and it's going to give you a really lovely silky milk that you can pour latte art with or just enjoy it anyway. Now, even on the highest, the super boost mode, which is where it takes it up to 6, and you can see here what bars of pressure it is. It tells you the bars. The problem is that I don't feel it's powerful enough. Maybe that's just me because I've been making coffee on a commercial machine all life. There you go, we're done. But yeah, how long did that take? 60 seconds. It's not terrible, but if it was a little bit more powerful, I'd be just that ever bit happier. Now, that milk is gorgeous, and you'll see, well, this is going to turn out beautiful. I'm not going to be able to do my best latte art because I used the wrong jug, but you can still see. But there you go. That is a delicious, silky latte. Tastes beautiful too. But once you've done that, you can see everything there, and you can go back and save it all, store it, bring it back. There's also a whole bunch of different settings on there. So let's say you're wanting to put in different time zones you want to put in. Now, it didn't have my time zone. It's only got Beijing, New York, and London, which is a bit sad. That surely will be updated as it goes on. You've got the date there, you've got the time you put in your language, connects to your Wi-Fi. It's got an ability there to adjust what skins you have, if you want the different skins on there. So I don't know, there's only a default one on there at the moment. Perhaps they'll open it up to a community and people will be able to mod it and then add in their own skins, which would be nice. You can set the brightness, you can set the volume of the sound, so when it warms up and when it's ready, it does a little like bling sound, which is really nice. Obviously change the volumes to whatever you need to. If you want it in ounces, you can change the temperature if you want it in Fahrenheit. You can't probably see here, but there's 2 little lights underneath. There's lights that go underneath. You've got your extraction light, you've got your grinding light, you've got your 2 side lights. You can turn them on or off. You can set your extraction temperature, your constant flow mode set, so you can have it as a high flow or a low flow. You can change the level of your steam wand, but in my version, there's only 2 levels unless you go to the super steam, and the super steam goes up to level 6, which is giving you about 3 bars of pressure. And then you can set your target milk temperature. You can also have it go into sleep mode, and you can set the standby time to go off. You can set your quick extraction program so that when you turn it on, it goes straight into whatever you need to. So if you're just a newbie and you just want it set for a standard coffee, you can just have it go straight into that instead of giving you all the different options and the variable control. And then one thing which I got caught up on because it wasn't defaulted on, it was the water tank detection. Now, what happened, I was making my coffee, and this happens with a lot of these devices, is that you can't actually see what water level is. If you look anywhere, there's nowhere that actually shows you how much water you've got left on there. But pull out the coffee tray, and you can see, here's the water tank underneath, and you can see the level there. Now, what caught me was because when I was playing around with it, I started to steam my milk. I mean, the steam is not powerful anyway, but the steam was incredibly weak, and I was just cutting down. I watched it, it said it got down to 1 bar of pressure, 0.5 of pressure, and then it was just like not doing anything, and that didn't make any sense to me. Anyway, so I had a suspicious feeling that maybe it had run out of water. Pulled the tray out, and sure enough, no water in the water tank. And I was like, that's wrong, because it should actually cut out before you start your milk or before you start your extraction, because you don't want it ruining your shot because it ran out of water midway through a shot and then it cuts out. Better to tell you, you can't make a shot, fill the water tank up before you can even extract. However, since then, I've turned on the water tank detection and that's been a lot better. At the bottom here, this is the RPMs. So this is how fast the grinder grinds, and it can go down as low as 300 and as high as 650 RPMs. That's how many revolutions per minute. So it's not the fastest, you know, some of the grinders out there can go up to 1200, although this is a conical grinder, so it does need to be lower. It comes with a dosing ring. So this is fantastic, because what happens is when you want to grind straight into here, you want to grind a little bit more than the basket so that it's heaped, because enough when you press it down, you want it to be a nice solid puck. Now, if you put that in there and you grind straight on there, if you grind too much, it's just going to spill everywhere. Beautifully designed, this collar, or the dosing funnel, goes straight in there and fits perfectly there. So then you can get that extra space, grind it away, take that out, and then you've got to do your distribution. It comes with a distribution tool, which I talked about already. It actually comes with a whole bunch of different accessories as well. It comes with a leveling tamp, it comes with a relatively nice tamper, comes with a spouted and a naked portafilter. One of the beautiful things about this is that with the naked portafilter, you can watch those extractions and see. This is perfect for social media or for any sort of showing off to your friends, because a lot of people don't have that. And the fact that it gives you both, I think they've really gone the extra mile with that. It comes with a cleaning brush, which is fantastic to clean your portafilter. It's the same size as the portafilter. It just makes it so easy to clean all of your grinds and get the oils out from underneath your group head. I think that's a brilliant addition, and they've really thought through all of the accessories that you might need if you're a novice with nothing and this is your first machine. Now, I want to show you how to make a filter drip pourer on this machine, because maybe you don't want an espresso every morning. Maybe it's the lazy Sunday afternoon and you just want to sip on a really nice geisha coffee filtered through this beautiful machine on your deck, just looking out over the world and enjoying life in the lazy afternoon sun. Well, you can. All you need to do is you remove the portafilter. Now, the one downside is that there's not a lot of headroom in here, and that is going to cause problems if you don't have quite a low carafe or a filter. Now, it won't fit my regular filters, but luckily enough, I stole this from the X Bloom. It fits perfectly on my brewer like this. Now, I've got with me some lovely geisha that I froze. I brought out the chest, and I'm going to grind it, and we're going to use it in here. I'll just cut this open, just get rid of any of the grinds in there. There we go. Get rid of those grinds. I'm going to adjust my grinder to make it for filter coffee. So this is perfect for this. So even though this is not a single dose grinder, it's going to be fine for what I need right now. So I'm just going to put in 15 grams into the hopper, make sure it all goes in, close it up. And what I want to do is just pop that in here. Okay, so I'm going to just grind my filter coffee into there. There we go. I'll sit that on my coffee cup. And see, there's not a lot of headroom, but there's enough there if you have a small one. So you're going to have to go out and find a nice filter that fits underneath here in a mug. Now the standard one, again, you can use whatever you want. If you want filter, you can set in your own profiles, whatever you like. But I'm just going to use the standard one. It starts off with about 15, and it's a 15:1 ratio. I'm going to extract out there. You can see the water's coming through. There's your bloom. I'm going to sit off that for about 20 seconds while it just sets that bloom up, and then it'll start to extract through. Now, my problem is that I'm probably not going to fit the entire amount in here for 15:1 ratio, so we'll just have to see what happens. I could probably go slightly higher. So whilst it wasn't a perfect extraction, obviously needs some tweaking. I would love to see a bit more headroom. You have to have the scales here, unless you just used it just as the water, but it's not perfectly designed for filter. I think it's fine if you're just wanting to have one. Not going to replace doing this manually or a V60 pour over. Let's try this now. It's a bit light. Yeah, it's a bit under extracted. The timer was, what, 80 seconds, only a minute and a half. I would have preferred like a couple of steps in there. I mean, that's just the one that comes default with the machine, so I could set it to go 50 mils of water, stop it, add another 100 mils of water, stop it, add another 100 mils of water, and have that go over 3 minutes. That's probably what I would do. However, you can see that it's got a very useful function there if you want to experiment with your filter coffees. If you're super serious about your filter geishas, you're probably not going to use this machine to extract your filter coffee. But if you just want something that's a bit alternative, and I think over time, they will play around with the settings and you'll be able to get more out of it. Obviously, they can't change the design, but you're just going to have to find a jug a carafe that's big enough and a filter that's small enough to be able to sit underneath that to be able to use it for your filters. So there you have it. There's my first review on this Seine X by Maxims de Paris. Now, if you like these sort of videos, please like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Thanks a lot, you legends. I'm Ride, your coffee coach, and as always, enjoy your brew.